Hello everybody, welcome to my guide on Ultimate Gym Game. So I mean, this game is pretty new and there's not too many guides for it yet, but basically we're here today to kind of help you get progress in this game. I know it is kind of hard, and as you can see, I have a day and 5 hours of playtime, and I'm currently international. This game is pretty simple and conceptually, but people really want to know, what's like the fastest way to get to the higher ranks. As you can see, I'm 403 kilos, and so I'm pretty heavy. Obviously, there is still ranks above mine, but I do have some interesting information to share. So anyways, in order to progress fast in this game, basically kind of the biggest tip I can give is knowing what rep range to operate in. So basically, if you don't already know, you have this little thing at the top tells you kind of what range you're working your muscles in. So as you can see, it says hypertrophy and then strength, and then obviously there's also like endurance, and that would just be some low stamina uses. So basically, when you're repping out an exercise, you're trying to stay in a 3 rep range. So basically, if I load up this bench here, this might be a bit too much, but what I'm looking for is, so when my stamina bar is full, I want my lifts to be 3 reps long, and in order to find that, I'm basically just going to test out some weights. So basically, in the 3 rep range, you're always going to have strength at the top here, so that's pretty much what you're looking for. But now I found a weight that's around 3 reps, so I can do this weight for 3 reps, and then I have to wait for my stamina to regenerate. And basically that's the fastest way to put on muscle, because it kind of finds the balance between adding more weight and being able to actually do reps on the exercise. The thing that's very important is this calories thing down here. It says I'm at 5,533 calories, but that's not really important. The number doesn't matter. What matters is what it says right below your name here. Right now it says I'm maintaining, but if I eat a little bit of food here, I'm going to be in bulking phase 1. So most of the time you're going to want to be in bulking phase 1. As you can see, I'm in bulking phase 1, but I still look really lean, and I mean, that's not surprising because I'm still in kind of a lower calorie range. That's closer to my maintenance, and that's generally when you're going to see the most muscle and the most leanness. But generally speaking, if you want to increase your lifts, you're going to want to stay at about the top end of the bulking phase 1. So what that means for me is basically, if I can stay around that 10,000 calorie number, I'll be in a good spot. So this right here gives me a decent amount of leeway to do some exercise. And as you can see, my calories bar is going down pretty slowly, but at the same time, I'm not too big. Now, of course, you can bulk up to the higher phases. So if I go up to phase 2, sometimes I go up to the bottom of phase 2 just to put on some more weight. And you can go all the way up to the highest phase. I believe that's like 50,000 calories. But the thing is, you'll still get the same boost from bulking. So I believe bulking is a plus 25% to muscle gain, and it doesn't really stack with the higher phases. So there isn't really any point to going to the higher phases. But if you want to, you can. And if you do happen to go a bit too far and you want to reset, you can always click this button down here, and it will reset you back to a low calorie amount where you can actually see your muscle you're putting on, although it's not really the most important factor in the rank. So with the ranking system, as you can see, I'm international rank. Now there is still, I believe, 2 ranks above my own, which are the master and the grandmaster ranks. So I'm not at the top yet, but I have climbed through quite a few ranks. So obviously most people are going to be in the beginner range, which is where you start. And then from there you climb to, I believe, intermediate, then to advanced, then to competitive, and then to elite, and then from elite you get to national, and then from national you get to international. So that's where I'm at. Now, in order to climb those ranks, the only thing that really matters isn't necessarily the weight you put on the scale, although that is one way of kind of gauging where you should be. It is not technically the most important thing. The most important thing is actually just putting more weight on your lifts. So for example, if I go to this cable row machine, you aren't going to have all these weights unlocked, but as you can see, I can scroll down really far here, and I've unlocked quite a few weights at the bottom there. And basically just putting more weights on your machine and getting stronger is actually the way you're going to be climbing the ranking system, and kind of, you know, directly also having your weight increase as well with that slightly as you rank up, but it's really not that bad. My biggest advice is just to don't burn yourself out. You know, don't play the game too much maybe, or if you're playing the game, I'd usually do something else, like, I don't know, watch a video or something, but it is kind of easy to get burnt out and kind of feel like you're not climbing. So the most efficient way you can kind of see your progress is that 3-rep range is a really good advice. You know, staying in the bulking phase 1 usually is good, because that way you can actually see your progress with your muscles after working out for a while, and you know, that sort of thing. Now the other thing is, if you come to the shop, you have these items you can buy. So one thing is, a lot of people buy the shaker right away and they don't realize that, well, you can't actually use the shaker until you have creatine or whey powders, you know. So one thing is, these powders are really expensive. As you can see, when you start out, you're not really going to have that much money to buy those things, but one thing you can do is the quests, and usually I don't really do them on purpose. In fact, I don't think it's really worth your time to try and grind the quests on purpose, but it is certainly something you can do. Now, my advice for these is that creatine really isn't that useful. I mean, sure, the faster rep speed is nice, but it really doesn't have a big effect on how much mass you're gaining in like a short time. The biggest effect will come from whey. It is worth it, even though it is very expensive, but there isn't really anything else to spend your money on besides, you know, chicken and rice, and obviously that's pretty cheap. So when it comes to whey, how much you want to add to your shaker really kind of depends. I haven't really played around with it much. I usually just load up 5 whey and then drink the shake, and it's not going to let me put more whey in, but I have a little bit of creatine, so I guess I could use that. Basically, that's going to give me a 5-minute boost, and so the whey is going to give me that 1.5x muscle boost, which is actually pretty good for putting on muscle quicker. So that is something you can consider. So what you're going to want to look for is, you're going to want to look at your muscles to see how big they are. That's kind of the most important thing. You can see that my back is relatively big. You know, you can see all my muscles are pretty well defined, and that's kind of what you're going to look for to kind of progress in the game, you know. That's how you get bigger, pretty much. And I mean, as you can see, this guy's in a lower rank, and some of his muscles aren't as developed. You can see his legs maybe need a little work. You know, you can't see his forearms yet. And the forearm grind is kind of a long one, but it is worth it. After, I believe, about half an hour to an hour, depending on where you are in progression, you will start to see your forearms come in, and you will kind of see them develop here. And then same thing with calves. After you grind the calf press for a while, you can kind of see them come in. Obviously, I haven't worked them too much, so they're not super well defined, but I do recommend getting to them eventually as you climb the ranks. But really, the most important muscles to grind is usually like back, you know, chest, and you know, legs. So for that, I recommend doing squats, obviously very good, chest very good as well with bench press, and then obviously for back, I just switch between cable rows and lat pull downs, and usually I like to keep them at about the same weight. So I can do 315 on the cable rows right now, and that's because I was kind of focusing on them for a while. But eventually I'm going to go and grind lat pull downs to where I can do them for 315 kg as well. So I do like to keep that balance there. And then another machine people kind of overlook for back is actually this reverse delt fly machine. It's actually pretty decent for, as you can see, it works these muscles here, which is kind of something people ignore, and they just want to kind of build these muscles to kind of cover these. But if you actually work on these, you can actually kind of get a nice looking back here with these muscles developed the way they are. And then obviously best for triceps, you're going to want to do the tricep pull downs. Eventually you're going to want to spend some time, go up these dumbbells, and obviously they max out at 80, which isn't that much, but you're going to want to grind them until you can get hypertrophy on them with the different exercises. Now, I haven't done that. I haven't done it for all of the exercises on this machine, but I have done it for lat raises and shoulder press, because they are actually really good for early game shoulder definition. I do have some really big hamstrings. Honestly, the best way I feel to train hamstrings is actually this leg curl machine. Like, I grinded it for a little while, and it actually gave me quite a lot of progress in the hamstrings. And deadlifts aren't bad for hamstrings as well, but you will notice that they are going to be kind of a all-rounder thing, so they're going to hit your glutes, they're going to hit that lower back muscle, and they're not as important for, you know, building up the good physique, but they are decent. But eventually, if you want to climb the ranks, you're going to need to increase all of your lifts, and they should be like relatively proportional, and the best way to keep the proportions well is just to look at yourself, basically just see, oh, I'm struggling in this area, or this muscle could be bigger, or whatever. You know, that's how you really build up your physique. So I actually haven't spent any Robux on the game, but if you do end up spending Robux, I mean, a lot of people probably are going to recommend the weight belt if you want to grind the pull-ups, because right now I can't really grind them because, you know, I can't really put weight on them, so it doesn't really help me that much. Maybe early game they're not bad, but late game they're not as good. Now, one thing I overlooked is this calisthenics thing. So basically, you kind of want to go down this, you know, ladder of all these exercises. I haven't really gotten that far through them, but they are really good for shoulders. And something you'll notice is that once you've kind of maxed out those dumbbells on that shoulder and lat raise, you don't really have any great ways to get your shoulders bigger, and you're gonna notice that your shoulders are often really spotty. Even though you can like see a lot of your bicep and tricep, but your shoulders like only appear at the front. And you know, the best way to actually grind those when you get later on is actually just to go down these exercises and pick the weights. Now I'm not saying they're bad early game, but it's usually something you can actually skip for a while, and I pretty much overlooked them until I got to like national rank. So if you don't really want to grind these calisthenics, you can actually pretty much just ignore them. Now, I know a lot of people aren't a fan of this abs crunch machine, and I do agree. The progression on them is quite slow, and you don't really see the progress that fast, but eventually I do recommend trying to get up to about, I don't know, 120 to 110 kgs for strength hypertrophy, because that's how I got, you know, the six-pack here, and I am international, so, you know, that isn't really that great for my rank, but, you know, eventually you might want to grind them a little bit, but otherwise you can actually kind of overlook this machine, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Another kind of tip I have is when you're walking around the gym, you can just, you know, pick up this trash on your way to the next exercise, and you will actually eventually accrue enough money to actually buy the boosts at the crews. Just find a crew that's hopefully a higher level, and as long as they're accepting your rank, I recommend joining them. Obviously that'll help with the perks. Hopefully they have max perks, and that's kind of just one thing to look out for. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, pretty much just get out there, grind, stay in that 3-rep range, look for boosts, you know, climb the ranks, and I think you'll see progress pretty quickly. So that's all I have for you today. Alright, see ya.